This video demonstrates a new feature allowing NSX-T to manage network policy across multiple Kubernetes environments. NSX-Antrea also provides a central pane of glass for deep visibility and troubleshooting of multi-cloud Kubernetes clusters. Whether you have an on-prem cloud with VMware Tanzu providing multiple Kubernetes clusters on a vSphere environment with Antrea as an open-source CNI, container network interface, or if you want to create a standard native Kubernetes cluster, NSX-T can centrally manage the network policies across all these clusters. Dynamic groups based on clusters, namespaces, and pods can be created in NSX-T, allowing for an enterprise-class Kubernetes network policy management and pod isolation. NSX-T also provides a central pane of glass for deep visibility and troubleshooting of these multi-cloud Kubernetes clusters to provide a scaling architecture. Here, the first thing we will notice when we go into the inventory is that the overview page has a section for containers. We will show you the different types of clusters by CNI. Under the Containers tab, you will see all the clusters listed. We can expand them to get more details. Any existing cluster network policies will also be visible in NSX. You can look at the details to know what the policy is doing. Along with the cluster information, details about the pods are also imported into NSX, and all Kubernetes labels are converted into NSX-T tags, which are available for consumption. Creation of new groups is an easy workflow. While setting the members, just select Antrea as a cluster, and you will be able to create groups based on services, pods, and namespaces based on their tags. Once the groups are created, they can be used in distributed firewall rules in NSX-T, same level as virtual machine or bare metal firewall rules. Here, we have a few rules already created based on an application. To create a new rule for container, select the category that you want, add a policy, and select Apply to point to the Antrea cluster, and select the cluster or multiple clusters that you want. Adding rules is the same as before. Click on Add Rules. Select your source destination and services. As a developer, you would continue to interact with your Kubernetes cluster and deploy apps. Here, you can see that apps are deployed and all services are running. Let's access the application. This is an e-commerce website where you can shop for products. But now let's look at how we can manage Kubernetes policies through NSX. In this demo, we are blocking all access to the Redis database. Once published by NSX, they are seamlessly sent to Antrea for policy enforcement. They are implemented as Antrea cluster network policies and are visible in the cluster, and you can describe the policy to look at the details. Next, let's consider a scenario where there are more such changes to the firewall rules, and at some point, the application breaks. Let's look at how we can troubleshoot this when this happens in a typical environment. NSX provides traceflow options, and there is a specific Antrea traceflow. Let's select the Antrea cluster. We know that the Redis database is on port 7070, and then select the source and destination pod. The traceflow information is visible in NSX, and it gives you the exact network policy which is blocking this. To summarize, multi-cloud, multi-cluster Kubernetes security with NSX-T is designed with some key goals. At the very top is to not stand in the way of developers' existing apps. Custom resource definitions can be applied using existing tools and workflows. There is no change to any developer task. You saw that enterprise admin, network admin, or the security admin can do central network policy management. NSX can also be leveraged to gain visibility into your Kubernetes cluster with traceflow, telemetry, and label translation. This eases the adoption of containers in enterprises leveraging both NSX-T and Antrea CNI, both in terms of performance and scale.